Yo, what's up, YouTube? No, it's been a while because I don't post anything because I'm not consistent and I'm always going back and forth with a bunch of bullcrap, especially when it comes to my cars, because a lot of times I just want to get it done and not have to worry about filming and recording and all that fun stuff. So, as you guys know, I have the white GSR Turbo Integra. I redid some wiring and some stuff on it, got the motor in there, turbo, and everything's going good. It does run and drive, but it's got like little finicky problems that I need to handle. I got to get some cam gears because apparently my head got shaved down just a little too much whenever I had it decked. It's fine, like little stuff like that. The belt just seems to be just like slightly too long, like to the point where I can get it lined up, but I'm off by half a tooth no matter what I do. So that's how this is going. There's a couple other things I got to get done to it, mainly just doing, just tuning stuff. But other than that, it's copacetic. So, where we're at today is, in typical fashion of most car guys, whenever your project car is giving you issues, you go out and buy another project car. So, I'm going to show you what I bought. I'll give you guys the world's cheapest Honda S2000. And when I say cheapest, I mean cheap, son. Mad cheap. Look at that bad boy. So it's got some rust because it is a Midwest car. Right in here, some on the other side of the quarter panel. It's been sitting for, the plate says 20 on it, so it's probably been sitting for 3 years. Easy. A little more rust right there. Unfortunately, the top has a hole in it right here. Therefore, the interior, at least the seats, the carpet seems to be fine, but the seats are absolute garbage. The top is not in the best condition. You can see some like mildew and mold spores on there. The steering wheel chewed up pretty decently. The center console right here, broken. And so far, for all the parts that I've sourced for this thing, this is the cheapest. Now, with all that being said, the reason I got this car so cheap wasn't because of how rough it is. It's because the motor's blown up. Pop this hood real quick. So it's got the factory, the F20. I can't remember what year the car is. I'll have to look. F20, F22, one of the two. Anyway, the factory motor's in it. The guy I got it from said that he was driving. It started giving him some issues. Started knocking. Wouldn't want to rev up or anything. I'm hoping that it's a rod. Because if that's the case, then this build's going to be a lot cheaper than, having to replace the entire motor, which I wouldn't be putting the F-Series back in here anyway. If I do that, it's got to go K. Ain't no way it can't. So other things that are wrong with it, it got caught in a dust storm in Colorado, so the paint's chipped up and it cracked the windshield real bad. So a lot of people see this and be like, oh man, that thing's beat, and you're correct. But that's the thing about me. I absolutely love beat up cars because they're cheap. And where else are you going to get a $1,500 S2000? So what we're going to do today is I'm going to sit you guys down, and you know what? We're just going to do a cleanup. We got power wash. We don't have much sun left because it's fall, so it gets dark early. But got the power washer out here. We got a bucket with some product in it, and we're going to get her going, man. I gotta say, this thing cleaned up beautifully. I thought it'd be a lot worse than what it is. You know, unfortunately, the sun's starting to set, so we can't really get the actual condition of the paint. You know, everything looks good when it's wet, but man, I gotta say, you know, all that mildew came off the back without a fight. I really enjoy that. I was afraid I was gonna have to like actually get some real elbow grease in on that, but it came off with the power wash, no problem. Yeah, I was trying to avoid the top as much as possible because of this hole right here. Where was that? Right there, but it's all good. So I'm not doing it this video because I'm running out of daylight, but we're going to tackle this interior next. Unfortunately, these seats are not savable. I mean, they already have a rip down in here. There's mold growing up on them. The inside of this car smells absolutely horrible. But, you know, it is what it is. For the price I got it for, I really cannot complain too much. It has 176,000 miles on it as it sits. The actual story behind what happened to this car here. So, turn this guy around. The previous owner, really good friend of mine actually, he was driving and he ended up oil starving it. And it happens, like, you know, especially because, I mean, he was, what was he? Younger kid, and he drove this car. I mean, he absolutely drove it. It didn't sit in the garage, as you guys can see, even when it wasn't just sitting. Like, he drove the car like God intended it to be driven. So, it's seen rain, sleet, snow, got caught in a dust storm in Colorado. You know, like, this thing has been all over the place. But I have a lot of respect for that because a lot of guys have these cars, and they just sit. You know what I mean? Now, granted, could it be in better condition? Absolutely, but that's anything. I mean, I have 2 crap box cars that honestly could be in better condition, but they're not. So what our plan here is, I wanted to keep it as stock as possible, but after looking at the interior, the body work that I have to do, the fact that I'm not completely sure what's wrong with the motor. If it's a crank, like if it's spun like a main, then we have to do some in-depth stuff. But if it's spun a rod bearing and it's not too bad, then hopefully we can have it have the crank turned and, you know, save it, because I would like to keep the F series in here. But if it comes down to it and it ends up being more cost effective for me to put a K series in it, then I will. I just didn't want to go through the adaptation work, you know, having to get the adapter plates, the harness, having to go to a K series style ECU to run it on K-Tune, you know, all that stuff. Because at the end of the day, this thing right here is still my car. You know, excuse the mess in my garage. I cannot keep it clean when I'm working on stuff, but this is still my project car. That's what it always has been. That's how I want to keep it. I want it to be ever changing. I want to be able to upgrade whatever on it. This guy right here, I would just like to keep it as stock as possible. You know, suspension work, it already has exhaust on it. You know, good tires. The rears need replaced. The fronts are relatively new. You know, just a good driving vehicle. That's what I want to do with it. So as for today, that's going to be it. Probably not within the next couple of days. I should be dropping a video of me actually cleaning this thing out. We'll just go through. We'll vacuum it out. We'll see how far we can go with the interior. Probably going to go ahead and just pull the seats out of it because I don't see a sense in keeping them. And I'll look into replacing them with probably some NRGs or something like that. And a new steering wheel as well. Also the airbags. Apparently these things sell for a lot of money. But other than that, that's it, guys. I want to thank you for watching. I hope that you guys continue to watch the progress of this vehicle. I'm really excited. One of the things I wanted to do before I was 30 was own an S2000. And it may not be the S2000 I wanted, but it ended up being the S2000 I wanted, if you get what I'm saying. So we're good. I appreciate it. I'll catch you guys later. Peace.